HAZ'S VENOM'S damaging himself. Aussie TV hosts label HAZ'S comment quit jobs ridiculed and bit rich. Australian TV hosts were left in stitches after ridiculing Prince Harry's advice to quit your job, labelling the comment a bit rich, coming from the royal. The comments from Prince Harry came during a Q&A as his role as Chief Impact Officer in mental health startup BetterUp. He said quitting your job for the sake of your mental health and happiness is something to be celebrated. The prince added that many people around the world are stuck in jobs that don't bring them joy, but now they are putting their mental health and happiness first by quitting. Today Show Australia hosts mocked the Duke of Sussex's comments. Host Richard Wilkins said, "Prince Harry has come under fire again after saying that quitting your job can bring joy and should be celebrated. This advice from someone you know, who lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion with a $50 million Netflix deal and all, it's a bit rich, isn't it? What do you reckon?" Susie Elelman added, "It is. There certainly is nothing like getting opinions from that rarefied air of wealth when you've got a trust fund that you've inherited, and you live in a $12 million mansion." The interesting comment that I think he made most of all was, sometimes we have to settle for living in places less than what we would like to live in. She added, "Well, I know there's a lot of people at work that are trying to just keep a roof over their head, regardless of what that sort of home is. So I thought that they actually left the royals and wanted to be left alone and not have any publicity. Well, I've got to tell you, they're not doing themselves any favors. It's so true, especially in these times. People are living from paycheck to paycheck and they don't have that luxury just to kind of go, I'm not enjoying this. If only it was so simple." They joked, like there's only 3 things you have to do. You leave the family home, you become friends with Oprah and you signed a multi-million deal with Netflix. Is that easy? It's that easy. Prince Harry joined BetterUp, a coaching and mental health firm, just under a year after he quit his job as a senior royal and left the UK to carve out a new life in the US. During the interview he also spoke about the effect of the pandemic, saying, "While on the surface it looks like these last couple of years brought all these issues to the foreground, the reality is these struggles and issues have been brewing for quite some time. We're just at the beginning of the mental health awakening. This work has never been more important because people are finally paying attention, and a big component of this mission is building awareness and continuing to pioneer the conversation." He added, "I've actually discovered recently, courtesy of a chat with BetterUp Science Board member, Adam Grant, that a lot of the job resignations you mention aren't all bad. In fact, it is a sign that with self-awareness comes the need for change. Many people around the world have been stuck in jobs that didn't bring them joy, and now they're putting their mental health and happiness first. This is something to be celebrated." Harry's role at BetterUp is just one of many deals he and Meghan have signed since leaving the royal family. Several people took to Twitter to commend the prince for his outlook on putting mental health before work. "It's good to quit anything that is affecting your mental health," one person tweeted. "Well said, Prince Harry. You have to take the first step sometimes and that means leaving," a second person agreed. "Totally agree. Best to walk away from toxicity and an environment you have no control over and resistance to change. The monarchy is one example," added another.